When you think about family law, you probably picture lawyers fighting it out in a courtroom, right? Well, something's changing. A quiet revolution is happening, and it's all about moving away from that old school battle. Instead, we're starting to see a new model that uses tech and AI. And the goal? It's not about winning arguments anymore. It's about protecting kids. So let's dive in and break down exactly how this incredible shift is actually working.
So at the very heart of this whole thing is this really big conflict. On one side, you've got the traditional way of doing things, the adversarial approach where it's all about winning. But on the other side, there's this new philosophy, one that is completely 100% focused on a child's well-being.
And what's so powerful is how it completely reframes the goal. It all comes down to the questions being asked. Look at this. The old mindset was all about what does my client want or what can I win? But the new child outcome mindset asks something totally different. What does this child need to be safe and stable? See the difference? It's a huge shift from just protecting your client to actually designing a future that works for the kid.
And let's be super clear here. This isn't just about who has the fanciest new software, not at all. It's about using technology to slice through all the noise you get in these high-conflict situations. The real goal is to take that absolute chaos of angry emails, messy text threads, and endless accusations and translate it all into a clear, understandable story about what's really going on with the child.
Okay, so that's the big idea. But how does this actually work in the real world? Well, it all starts with getting a handle on the absolute mountain of digital evidence that, let's face it, defines our lives now and definitely defines modern legal cases.
I mean, just look at this list for a second. We're talking about everything. Text messages, WhatsApp, Signal, then you've got co-parenting apps, emails, social media DMs. And it doesn't stop there. School records, patient portals, police reports, even location data and Uber receipts. In a really tough case, this can be thousands and thousands of data points. Without a system, it's pure noise.
So how do you deal with that? The solution is actually a pretty straightforward 4-step process. It's all about bringing order to that chaos. First, you just talk to the client. Figure out where all this communication is happening. Step 2, you preserve everything. Download it all. Step 3, you track where it came from. Chain of custody, right? And finally, you deduplicate it. Because nobody wants to deal with 15 different copies of the same angry screenshot.
And all this organization lives inside what you can think of as a case operating system. It's really just a super logical, simple folder structure. But it's the backbone for the whole case. Everything gets its own place. The client's story, all the evidence, reports from professionals, and, this is so important, a folder dedicated to tracking whether the court orders are actually working for the child.
All right, so you've done all the hard work. All that data is neatly organized. Now what? How do you actually make sense of it all? Well, this is where it gets really interesting. This is where AI comes in, helping us find those crucial patterns that are usually hidden deep inside all that noise.
Okay, so the first superpower AI brings to the table is summarization. Just imagine this. You have a year's worth of angry, chaotic text messages between two parents. Instead of a lawyer having to read every single one, you can feed it to an AI and it can just distill it all down to the key themes. Or think about a massive 100-page medical file. The AI can sift through it and pull out only the points that are truly critical for the child. It's a game changer.
Next up, classification and tagging. This is so cool. The AI can automatically read through all those messages and start labeling them. Is this message a threat or just logistics? Is this a late schedule change again? Or maybe, just maybe, it's a positive, de-escalating comment. When you do that for thousands of messages, suddenly, bam, you have a visual map of how these parents actually communicate. You can see the patterns.
And last but not least, extraction. I love this one. This is where the AI basically becomes a super-powered paralegal on steroids. It can scan through mountains of unstructured text, like emails and reports, and just pull out all the specific, factual data. Every single date, every location mentioned, every time a specific event is talked about. It turns a wall of text into a neat, organized spreadsheet of facts. Okay, now this next part is absolutely critical. I really want to land this point. The AI doesn't just do this on its own. It's not magic. It is a tool, and it's used by a professional in a very specific workflow. The attorney feeds it the organized data, gives it very clear instructions. That's the prompt. And then, and this is the most important part, the attorney has to review, refine, and verify everything that comes out. The human is always in the loop.
This chart really nails it.
It's a simple division of labor. The AI does the heavy lifting, right? It's shaping and sorting all that messy data. But the human, the attorney, is 100% responsible for the stuff that matters most: the judgment, the ethics, and the overall strategy. It's a true partnership.
Of course, whenever you talk about powerful new tools like this, you have to hit the pause button and ask some really tough, really important questions. Things about fairness, ethics, and whether everyone can actually get access to this stuff.
And this is the big one, isn't it? Is this approach actually fair for everyone? I mean, do these advanced tools just create a new kind of digital divide, where the parent who's better with technology suddenly has this massive, unfair advantage?
And the honest answer is, yeah, these barriers are very, very real. Think about it. Not everyone has a smartphone or reliable internet. Some people have limited data plans. There are language barriers, literacy barriers. And what about the impact of trauma or neurodivergence? That can make just organizing a few files feel completely impossible. And yes, absolutely, one parent can try to weaponize their tech savviness against the other. Any responsible approach has to take all of this into account.
That's exactly why you need strict, non-negotiable ethical guardrails. These are the rules of the road. For example, you tell the AI to describe specific behaviors, but you never let it slap on a diagnostic label like narcissistic. No way. You have to constantly be on the lookout for potential bias in the AI's output, whether it's based on gender, race, anything. You anonymize sensitive data, like the kids' names, and the golden rule always applies. The AI produces a draft. The human makes the final call. Period.
So when you put it all together, the new mindset, the practical process, and those critical ethics, this entire child-centered approach really boils down to 3 core pillars.
It's pretty simple, really. Pillar number 1, organize the chaos. You structure everything around how it impacts the child. Pillar 2, clarify the story. You use AI to find the real patterns, not just to echo accusations. And Pillar 3, support real-world change. You take all that clarity and use it to create court orders that actually work, orders you can track to make sure they're helping.
And really, this final thought just says it all, doesn't it? The whole point of this, the ultimate goal, it isn't about being more efficient or just drafting cleaner documents. It's about something so much bigger. It's about transforming a chaotic, often painful process into one that creates genuine clarity and insight. And with that insight, you can help courts issue orders that actually truly stabilize a kid's life. And that is a really powerful vision for the future of family law.